Dear property selling professional, desperate cry for help to homeless Malaysian. From me, Madam Sophia, the virtual assistant to CTM Joseph NG, your sales and marketing expert. Here is the appeal. Malaysian advised to speed up initiative to homeless. Believe it or not, non-governmental organizations, NGOs, welcome the move by state authorities to help the homeless in Johor Bahru become independent. Malaysian Red Crescent Society, MRCS, Community Services Coordinator Rosli Abd Wahab hopes the state government, together with the relevant authorities, will speed up the program. It is the right decision to take the homeless off the streets in downtown Johor Bahru, he said. Homeless men would be placed at a temporary shelter in Johor Bahru for 1 year while the permanent shelter in Larkin Perdana was being completed, he said. The program to assist the homeless is conducted in collaboration with Johor Bahru District Office, Johor Bahru City Council, MBJB, and Iskandar Puteri City Council, MBIP. Rosli said the temporary shelter would be able to accommodate 140 men and MRCS would continue to provide meals and take care of their welfare. We will also start an agricultural project at the temporary shelter. The Johor Agriculture Department will provide the necessary training to the residents. He said cucumber cultivation in polybags had been identified as the most suitable project, as the crop could be harvested within 3 months. We welcome companies to donate polybags, fertilizer, soil, cucumber seeds, and relevant equipment for the project, he said. Meanwhile, non-governmental individual coordinator Francis Ng said homeless women would be placed at Anjung Singa Johor in Taman Nongchik while the men could be in Taman Perling. We have been helping the homeless to find employment through job matching, he added. Ng said employers were encouraged to contact the NGOs if they had job openings or were looking for workers. At the same time, he advised the homeless not to be too choosy or only willing to do a job deemed suited to their qualifications or experience. He said the number of homeless people in downtown Johor Bahru was not as high as reported. There are around 80 homeless people, while about 100 are considered transit individuals. The transits are those who arrived here from other districts and states in search of jobs in Johor Bahru and Singapore before the COVID-19 pandemic thwarted their plans, Ng explained. Additionally, there were around 100 individuals who had lost their jobs during the pandemic and turned up for free meals provided by NGOs, he noted. Ng, who is also Pertubuan Penganut di Wadatak Kong, Taman Daya, chairman, is instrumental in the distribution of free meals to the homeless through coordination with several NGOs. Those who wish to provide assistance can contact Rosli at 018-76-85034 and NG at 019-777-7256. Source: The Star, 25 August 2021. Are you touched? I believe you are. Anyway, my job is done here. I will hand over the rest of the talk to my colleague Madam Florence, another virtual assistant to CTM Joseph. Bye. Thanks a million.
Thanks Madam Sophia for giving me a chance to deliver the balance of this month's posting. Alright. For your info, my name is Madam Florence, in case you don't know. Without further ado, allow me to present Chapter 4 of the book, How to Close Every Sale and Ever Time by CTM Joseph NG. Written and published by your sales and marketing expert. Chapter 4: The secondary or minor point, close quote, it means you give your client something he wants, probably a relative minor point, by Bryce Webster in his book, The Power of Consultative Selling. The secondary close involves closing on a minor point in the sales presentation. Acceptance of which denotes acceptance of the entire offer. Put in another way, it can be explained as a variation on the basic assumptive close. Like the basic close, you start out acting as if you expect a yes and you present 1 or 2 benefits that your prospect liked. Here is where it becomes a little bit different. For instance, if you are showing a person some clothing. While you show them 2 blouses, you say, do you want it in blue or green? Whichever the person takes, the person has made the decision to buy. If you are showing a person an article of furniture, you would say, would you like it delivered or you would like to take it with you? Whichever the person selects, the person has decided to buy the product or service from you, hence you always close on a minor point. You can say, would you like it in blue or green? Or, would you like it at a higher or lower speed? Would you like it in a smaller or large size? The person always makes a decision to buy, if they say yes to either one. Incidentally, this brings us to the alternative close. Here you always offer the prospect a choice between something and something else. Never say between something and nothing. Never say, do you want this or not? Say, do you want the 4-speed or 5-speed? Do you want the 3-bedroom house or the 4-bedroom house? Would you prefer the red or the green? Would you prefer the deluxe model or the regular model? In doing so, the prospect has to make a choice between one or the other. Would you like it delivered or you would like to take it with you? Whichever the person selects, the person has decided to buy the product or service to him. You always close on a minor point. You can say, would you like it in blue or green? Or, would you like it at a higher or lower speed? Would you like it in a smaller or large size? The person always makes a decision to buy, if they say yes to either one. Incidentally, this brings us to the alternative close. Here you always offer the prospect a choice between something and something else. In any case, if they buy one, you should be satisfied. If the prospect says that I don't want either one, you could say, give me more information on what you are looking for. Then, you will know how to proceed further in your sales presentation. Trust me, the concept of secondary close cannot be repeated enough. Therefore, you need to examine the concept of secondary close in the context of the minor point close as a variation of the basic assumptive close. Like the basic close, you start out acting as if you expect a yes and you present one or two benefits that your prospect liked. In truth, here is where it becomes a little bit different. You ask a minor point question that your prospect would need to answer if he had already said yes to the major question of buying your product or service. In this example of the minor point in selling a service, let us continue using the context of a financial advisor. You like the idea of having a professional manage your investments. You also really like all the time you will be saving. Do you want to do the asset transfer yourself or do you prefer that we handle the paperwork for you? If your prospect answers the minor point question regarding who will handle the paperwork, he has bought your proposal. By choosing one of the minor alternatives, he has agreed to the major question. Let's elaborate more on the minor points. It relies on a confident tone of voice. You must convey positive expectancy. Ask your prospect a minor question that would need to be answered once he made the major decision to buy. You are, however, asking him the minor question first instead. If he answers, he has bought what you've just done. You've learned to close a sale by assuming a yes and confidently asking a minor question for it. Your positive expectant tone of voice is what makes this happen. Use this principle professionally and personally and get better results in all of your persuasion efforts. That said, this brings us into a more important paragraph, that is summary. Therefore, to distill this chapter on the secondary or minor point close, here are key points that must be repeated. Hence, as said earlier, it relies on a confident tone of voice. If you still remember, you must convey positive expectancy. Not forgetting the idea that you must ask your prospect a minor question that would need to be answered once he made the major decision to buy. To repeat, in other words, you are in fact asking him the minor question first instead. If he answers, he has bought. Does that sound logical? You bet. To top off, let's end the chapter with the next area. Conclusion. To wrap this chapter, let me state without doubt, I firmly believe what you've just done in this minor point closing. You and I now have learned to close a sale by assuming a yes and confidently asking a minor question for it. Your positive expectant tone of voice is what makes this happen. Make no mistake, I myself have used this principle professionally. And believe me, I have personally and gotten better results in all my closing efforts. True. Jokes aside, with the wise words from Michael Jordan, also known by his initials MJ, is an American former professional basketball player and businessman, I end this chapter. You must expect great things from yourself before you can do them. All in all, what has been said, I truly believe my work is done in this chapter. Looking forward to meet you in the next chapter. Agree. End of chapter 4. This brings us to a happy ending of chapter 4. At this juncture, may I, Madam Florence, CTM Joseph NG and Madam Sophia wish you good luck and happy selling in your business.